How's it going, everyone? Daxellz, and today we're going to be reacting to 10 most lived in open world games. Let's get straight into it. And away we go.
Today we want to talk some mostly open world game worlds that feel truly lived in. Taking a look at game worlds that truly put the work in to make
GTA is going to be here.
A live place, from
Red Dead 2.
Citizens to just general art and level design and vibe. We've
What
got
other ones?
A lot of fun and exciting places.
If them two aren't in it,
with number 10,
what's the point?
About the obvious one, Skyrim.
Oh, Skyrim! One of my most played games.
Game worlds for the Elder Scrolls universe.
I've been playing around with mods recently. I like it.
Favorite is Morrowind, but most recently,
really?
Skyrim,
I've never played Morrowind.
Biggest mainstream success for the series yet, and
yeah,
absolutely a fascinating living world that a bunch of fans sunk tons of hours living.
Dude, yes.
Skyrim's map is riddled with not only things to do, but random things to stumble across. Whether it's some bandits hiding out in a cave, an old lady living in the middle of the woods,
random dialogue,
like a convincing region of Tamriel where people actually live and breathe in this harsher northern region. Sure, it technically feels a bit older than a lot of the other games we're going to mention on this list, but it's
true.
Some taverns with interesting people, city streets with civilians and guards who react to you as they go.
Pay on any like console or PC, which they have mods for on even console, which is surprising. But yeah, it still makes it like there's still mods to make things look more to date and more NPC dialogue. There's loads of good mods out there to try out if you've never tried it before.
About their day and go to sleep at night. Blacksmiths hammer away all day. Sawmills make lumber. As significant as you are in the story, like you as the Dragonborn are to this world, you can still just walk around and be in it. The Elder Scrolls always just do a really good job of feeling like living, breathing places.
True.
Number 9, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It's a vastly underrated
really?
Creed game. Sure,
I've never played it.
To a lot of the typical trappings of the open world games that people don't like, but still, it took a lot of lessons from the tech and systems built off from Assassin's Creed Unity and plopped it in an insanely big, detailed, and almost modern game world. It takes place in England in the late 1860s. Basically,
I didn't even know.
Modern times Assassin's Creed has ever been, and has all the stuff of a world going through the Industrial Revolution you would come to expect. You know, soaring.
That's pretty sick.
Stories, steel everywhere, factories working nonstop, a bustling main river crowded with boat traffic, shipping goods everywhere, pretty much accurately representing London, England as the powerhouse of the world it was in that period of time. Not only the streets were wide and filled with not only
you can ride carriages,
people, but bustling horse and carriage traffic.
That's sick.
It seems very complicated to implement into a game like this. You don't see it in games often, and yet here it is. All of this horse and buggy traffic.
Last Assassin's Creed I played was Unity, and that game was arse. I mean, like, glitches, bad things. But yeah, I think 3 was my favorite, and Unity's where I stopped. But this looks kind of good. I'll try this.
It's cool. People coming and going on
it's cool.
And carriages of all shapes and sizes and purposes make it all feel so alive. Not only that, there's also trains persistently cruising around the whole map. It's a big, wide, polluted city with political districts, working class districts, factory zones, deeply poor areas that all feel convincingly real and not only lived in, but like really lived in. It feels
it's still the same today, not gonna lie.
City bursting at the seams, and it's cool to experience. Now over at number 8, let's talk about Albion, the world of the Fable series, particularly 1 and 2, because 3 was just a rough game. But Albion is
I enjoyed 3. Leave it alone.
Lived-in world from
I like 3. 2 is good though.
Talk enough about how deeply beautiful and just kind of comfortable and cozy these worlds feel.
Why have they not done a new one yet? I swear they released the trailer.
With ancient stone walls, cobblestone paths, little wooden townhouses. People amble about throughout the day, each have their own home, and it feels like a fantasy village that has been there for 1,000 years. Venture out into the woods and fields, and you'll find big, gnarled old trees that look like they've been there forever. And really hammer home the games like really...
Also, you had Fable on your list, and you were saying Skyrim is one of the older games you chose. Come on, man.
Cozy fall tone. And then, of course, there's Bowerstone, the big city of the original game, and the even bigger city from Fable 2. Bowerstone has the same bustle of NPCs, but it's richly detailed. The ancient cobblestone city has high castle walls, ramshackle buildings tucked in, some interesting vegetation growing in weird places, and also a lot of chickens. Fast forward 500 years to that same Bowerstone in Fable 2, and the city is absolutely massive and feels like a giant urban sprawled maze, filled with secrets of worn paths, lots of bands of people living in
Why does 2 feel older than 1? Is 1 had a remake? Is 1 had like a remaster and 2's just like not?
Alleyways, shops, nobles, and soaring buildings, and an epic castle. It doesn't feel like realistically alive, but it does
Yeah.
have a lot of life, if that makes sense. This is really only scratching the surface of everything Albion has to offer in terms of convincing locations, but yeah, we love Fable and its world. Next over at
I think that should be higher in the list. Skyrim's got a better world than Albion, so. Oh, I just saw it GTA next. Let's go. Yeah.
Los Santos and its surrounding regions are riddled with fun.
This game's goated no matter what.
Wacky pedestrians. The world just feels so lived in thanks to the fact that there's so much hidden beneath the surface. Literally, there are secrets in the ocean if you're willing to explore them. Not only that though, just hidden corners of the map. Mountains. There's always something weird to find. Now, of course, the city of Los Santos feels unique and alive, you know, with people bustling around, cars, traffic, typical open world crime game stuff. They have a really nice eye for detail down to homeless people sheltering themselves and the Hollywood upper class being themselves. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is also unique for pulling off the less populated rural areas and making them feel like people actually live there.
Live there, like still living, yeah. I was gonna say that.
With a few trailers like many other games.
Yep.
Up by sandy shores in particular. Yes, it's mostly trailer parks, but with convenience stores, strip malls, parking lots, and abandoned buildings, it really makes you feel like a place people exist in and not just a movie parody. Grand Theft Auto 4
also wildlife,
in particular,
birds,
like
things like that.
Places, even if the majority of your interaction with people is just blowing them up. Now over at number 6, let's talk about Sleeping Dogs. The Hong Kong depicted.
I really want to play this, man.
Accurate or meticulous recreation or anything like that, but it works so hard to make you feel.
I saw this in a previous video.
One of the biggest metropolitan areas in Asia. The developers did do tons of research in person and took hundreds of thousands of photographs to nail the vibe and feel accurately. This city area is split into 4 districts that all feel distinctly different, and throughout there are like packed highways, bustling narrow city streets filled with people and umbrellas, tons of details like market stalls, wet markets, convenience stores, people selling their wares, electrical boxes, wires, trash, tons of neon signs beautifully reflecting onto the rain-soaked streets. The coastal areas have busy fisheries modeled after the ones in real life. It's a stylized city, a video game city, yeah, but you really feel the hustle of it despite the game's age. Play the version. It's really great. Let's move on.
I will do, dude.
Yakuza. This one might be definitely a lot smaller than the other ones on this list. It's not a whole continent or a city or what have you, but the district of Kamurocho in the Yakuza series is one of the densest, bustling, lived-in worlds we've seen in a video game in a long time. Sure, you're not jumping in vehicles and tearing through the streets, but the streets of Kamurocho are just jammed.
Yakuza has a mad following.
And mulling about the streets.
You'd be surprised how many people have played this game.
Tons of buildings for you to go into and side activities to be found. It's an incredible facsimile of Tokyo's red light district, Kabukicho.
I've heard people say they've played Yakuza just for the karaoke.
And the level of care and detail put into fleshing out this world and making it feel as authentic and lived in is frankly astonishing. And like we said, it's just chock full of stuff to do. You can roam the streets and take it all in, or you can explore the many restaurants, bars, clubs, arcades, bowling alleys, gyms, internet,
all the mini games,
convenience stores, everything the city has to offer.
What is going on?
This is hard to explain. How it really nails the feel of like a late night trip down the street and walking into a convenience store in a big city. We've done it a dozen times, and for some reason, Yakuza really nails it. And because Kamurocho is also always the setting of the mainline Yakuza games, you get to see the evolution of the city and how it changes over time from the
That's sick.
all the way up to Yakuza 6's modern 2016 version of the city, and seeing how that city changes with new technological, cultural influences, all in a believable way, is really something. Obviously, there's all the clan
that is cool
stuff, but even just to have civilians in the streets go about their day. It's a world that eventually came to transcend the game it was introduced, which is pretty awesome if you ask us. But over at number 4, we've said this a million times, but love or hate the Division games and the whole live service game.
Don't get me started about Division. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. I played too much this game to... the boss's health is just ridiculous, the amount of damage you do with the guns. And I really hate this game. It took away so much of my life, which I could never get back.
Games model thing. You can't deny that the developers, Massive Entertainment, build some incredibly detailed...
I would argue that this world is bloody empty, and it's not as massively... Well, Division 1 was massively empty. If this is about Division 1, this is arse.
The Division 1 was Midtown-ish New York City, and the Division 2 was a 2-scale Washington, D.C., and Lower Manhattan in a DLC expansion. As someone from New York and someone who has visited DC many times as an East Coaster, these are without a doubt some of the most convincingly recreated cities in a video game, straight up. And what's more impressive is the fact that the cities are totally abandoned. A widespread attack virus
dead.
Mass deaths and evacuation.
Makes sense, but it's
empty.
dead.
Freedom fighters and bad guys and occasional civilians. But it still always feels so lived in.
I've not played 2 though.
Details like
I can tell this is 2. Colorful.
The left behind stuff like pets, bikes, luggage everywhere. You believe these Division cities were at one point real cities where people lived and did stuff and then had to leave in a hurry. And now these environments are just shooting galleries. But still, they look damn good. Now, of course, down to number 3. You know,
that should have been way up at 10.
Continent, or the world of The Witcher 3 is totally a
Oh yeah. This should be near top 1. Like this, I'm surprised it's number 1.
Is filled with detail and NPCs that look like they're actually doing stuff and not just pantomiming. The cities like Novigrad in particular feel dense, with packed market squares, shops riddled with details, busy docks. There are poorer sections with dilapidated, collapsing old wood buildings.
I'm guessing these aren't in order. This is just top that. This is just 10. Yeah, 10 most.
Better or worse, these little details do help the world feel more alive and real. Not only that, the wide open spaces also feel touched by humans and creatures too. To like a spooky abandoned cabin in the middle of.
Whenever I hear wide open spaces, I always think of Madagascar. Is it just me? Is it just me? Probably just me. I'll shut up.
Crumbling castles, to the population itself, you know, see people out there working in the farm fields, soldiers out
The
on the
wild.
rivers,
Whoa.
being worked on by fishermen. From rural to urban, it feels like a living, working region. Not to mention later game areas where people are dealing and living in completely different environments and climates. Also, especially to the expansion land of Tucson as well. That feels like a convincing Mediterranean.
I never played the
paradise
DLC.
on the sinister side. I always say that The Witcher 3 was a success because of 2 things. Obviously, number 1, players fell in love with Geralt, but number 2, they fell in love with the world he inhabits. Now down to number 2, let's talk about Dishonored. The original Dishonored really.
Oh, I never got to play this.
In terms of world design and art direction. The adventure takes place in the industrial city of Dunwall. It's kind of like.
This was my COD era phase. I didn't get to experience much with other games.
Aesthetic mix of like Victorian era London, some steampunk, some City 17 from
Oh, really?
2. It's all over the place, man. It's like sci-fi, but never quite like you've seen it before. Dishonored expands on Dunwall with the coastal city of Karnaca. All of the Dishonored universe feels lived in, particularly because of how unique it is, how detailed it is, how much time they took to.
What company made this game?
Details, you know, shops, fisheries, taverns, stuff like that. And
Dude.
lots of trash and dead things too. Karnaca is powered by wind, and Dunwall primarily lives off of whale oil. And the fact that the game goes to great lengths to show you evidence of that makes it feel like a more alive place. A downtrodden
Whale
place
oil,
held together
damn.
by corruption and industry. Despite it being so foreign, exotic, and strange, you believe it all, and it makes sense. Props to Arcane Studios for that, really. But down to number 1, Red Dead Redemption 2. We can't.
Oh yes. Yeah. Both my games are mentioned.
Rockstar Games one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2's world that is just open space, prairies, mountains, marshes, and whatnots. The cities and towns, while spread out quite a bit, are
beautiful.
incredibly detailed, full of people just doing their own thing, and all have their own personality and flavor, if that makes sense. The game starts you out introducing you to Valentine, which is pretty much your stereotypical Wild West town.
True.
Saloon, bunch of shops, and people just living. But even that sleepy town is chock full of detail, from the signage on the walls to the imperfect way that buildings are built and weathering, to people building new buildings that are built over time, to the muddy streets. It really shows that this town has been here long before Arthur Morgan showed up, and will continue to be long after he's gone.
Mad.
Town, really. Take Ansburg, for example. It's a rough and tumble coal mining and shipping town. It's dirty, its people are rougher around the edges. It's
a glorified train station, but okay.
Then travel down to Saint-Denis, and you
Yeah, Saint-Denis.
Industrious and, dare I say, classy setting. Made in that New Orleans mode, and it shows in the environment. It's denser both in population and in the way buildings are placed. It's got fancy cars and electricity, big fancy saloons and houses, factories.
Hear ye, brother. More civilized.
Their own accents. Here you can buy higher end clothing and other products. It's a whole different world from what you've been used to in the other regions in the game, and it's kind of jarring at first.
Crazy.
They actually went out of their way to build a full 1800s city here. That's just a few examples. The game is packed with interesting, detailed regions that all have their own flair. You know, it's some of the best work Rockstar has done by a country mile as far as world goes. It also feels like Arthur is merely a visitor there, not just the world made for Arthur, if that makes sense.
Also, look how beautiful this is. It's just like a cutscene, man. I think Red Dead 2 is like, it's a good game. It's a very good game.
But those are some really lived-in feelings.
Online's questionable, but story's good.
Thank you guys for listening to us, but most importantly, we want to hear from you guys in the comments some game worlds that you really feel are truly alive, truly lived in, have been around forever, and you love diving into. If you got your own list, let
Hell
me know.
yeah.
You can always make a part 2 of this video because this was fun. But if you enjoyed this video,
sick.
The like button is the best way you can help us out, man. We really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing, maybe hitting that notification bell because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Sick. Good video. Good video.